after 7, and I'm headed off kind of in a northwesterly direction on Lake Louisa to board my portage. And the lake is nice and calm and quiet, and looking forward to a good day. So the Algonquin traffic jam that I encountered yesterday, a big chunk of that group also stayed on Lake Louisa last night and is also staying on head tonight like I am. So I expect I'll be encountering them throughout the day. Well, it's about 10:30. I just finished off the second of the 500-ish portages. Went to Lawrence, so I did a 510 and a 470. They weren't too bad at all. And I've got a good long paddle ahead of me. There is a 10-meter portage on Lawrence. It looks like it may end up being optional, I'm not sure. And then I want to 45 around some falls, and I think I'll stop and do a little sightseeing at the falls, see what they're all about. And then another good long paddle to my last portage of the day, a 1035. Goes from 429 meters up to 441 meters and down to 421. So probably not too steep or treacherous either. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to a good day. I think I'm going to snack up and I'll have lunch maybe at the end of, maybe at the falls. We'll see. So there's the 10-meter portage from Lawrence into Purdy, and over here is the 715-meter portage into Kirkwood. But the obstacle I want to go around is right there. So I'm going to see what that 10-meter portage takes me around. Okay, portage it is. So I just did the 10-meter portage there. More like a 5-minute distraction. It's okay. It's a nice little break in the paddle. So I'm on Parody now. Parody, however you say it. Oh, here's the falls. I was thinking about having lunch at the base of these falls, but it sounds like a large, loud group of people down there. So I'll just do lunch at the end of the portage trail. Lunchtime. It's Mountain House chicken teriyaki with rice, and I'm having a lunch date with this young lady here, care of my daughter.
And I think on one trip, it maybe like first or second year, I saw my older brother. That was when.
So I'm on the 1,000 and so meter portage into Head Lake, where I'll be staying for the night. Started to cloud over a little bit, the wind's picked up. You may see a little bit of rain. You know, I had that feeling again where starting to get a little, I won't call it anxious this time, but I was just a little bummy and not really looking forward to the day, and, which is strange because I have one portage and like hang around camp for the rest of the day. But anyway, just started to feel a little blue. And then this flotilla shows up at the portage. 3 or 4 of them just passed me here. And, you know, I barely even said hello, and I'm feeling better already. This is strange. This isn't right for solo Lesta. So, just finished up my last portage of the day into Head Lake. That's if I can get through this meandering shallow here. See how it goes. guess we'll drag this. Boy, this just keeps going. I've already been through 2 broken beaver dams. This could be why this water is so low. Another broken beaver dam. Yeah. See if I can squeeze through there. Oh, not too bad. Oh, and finally the lake. One more. At least the bottom is sandy and not mucky. I can deal with sand. And there we are. Home for the afternoon. I found a hammock spot up that way. The approach to the water is a bit treacherous, but that's okay. So there's a set of falls over there. That looks like a wonderful place to go get cleaned off. There's a big group of people over there. I'm guessing they're occupying the site next to the falls. So if they clear out of there, I might go over and have a look. Except if I go over there to get wet and washed off, I'll have to figure out how I'm going to get dried off and warmed up again, because I didn't bring a towel and I'm really low on clothing. I might just have to keep being stinky. Well, the hammock is hung with the underquilt and the sleeping bag inside, and something really bummy just happened. Well, it didn't just happen, it happened this morning. I forgot my other strap and carabiner on Lake Louisa. Now fortunately, I happen to have one of the original straps from my hammock. I was using it on my life jacket for a modification that I'll show you later. And I just did a loop through the 2 ends and a couple of figure 8s, tied it off with a half hitch. She's pretty solid. Moving on, I have my clothes hung. These are the clothes I was wearing yesterday morning when I got stuck in the mud, and these are doing okay. These here not so much. These are lawn johns. I mean, they're cotton. I should know better, but when it comes to just being warm, I can't beat the cotton. You know, it's just when it gets wet, it tends to stay wet. Anyway, I think I'm going to make some supper. Maybe show you some gear. Okay, the new kitchen kit. This jar is one of those gym protein shake jars. I plan to upgrade this to a metal bottom with a snap-on lid. Inside, I have the little fuel canister stand for when I'm using the fuel stove. My scrubby. My spork. Okay, then I have this. This is in a milk bag because I've coated my pot with dish soap in an effort to make it easier to clean all the soot off it when I get home. Inside the pot is my soap, a candle which I just found in the park, my fire starting kit. In there's a lighter, my straws stuffed with Vaseline and cotton balls, a little bit of birch bark which I'm running low on, and the fuel stove. And inside is, ta-da, a new rocket stove. The new rocket stove here just happens to fit inside the pot. I only discovered that after I finished building it. So I really liked my rocket stove, but it was too big. It was a 1-gallon paint can. This is a 946 milliliter, so what is that, a quart paint can? a spaghetti sauce can and a condensed Campbell soup can. And then I cut nice big holes in the top here for the fire to get out. Stuffed it with the insulation, of course. And then the little shelf, like so. And it works all right. It takes a little while, but it's doable. If I wanted to fine tune this for speed, I'd get rid of this and go strictly with the fuel stove. I'd get the biggest can of fuel that could fit in this pot, even if the lid stood this tall, because remember it's going inside that. But so far I just have the fuel tucked away somewhere else. And that's the new kitchen kit. So here I am with this campsite here, and it's supper time. And you know, I've had this crazy thought going through my head. Started earlier today. My original plan is to go up this creek, because I wanted to avoid this 1640 meter portage, and do the creek here instead. And this would be a lot like the Crow River, except it is a lot like the Crow River. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little portages. And then the creek itself, and that looks like a whole day just to get from there to here. And I'm actually supposed to camp all the way over here on a little island. Second thought is that, well, if I could just do the 1640 meter portage, you know, spend a couple hours, do it. But I could also, because I'm in Cache Lake, I could just go up to access point 8 and get out of here. I could hitch a ride back to 6 from somebody. Must be somebody going Toronto way. Get my car, come back for all my stuff, and head out a day early. Oh yeah, and the other thing, part of why I'm thinking about cutting short is it's craft dinner night. And I didn't think ahead to bring any kind of powdered milk or any sort of butter or butter substitute. So I don't want to eat that. So maybe I'll eat my last night's supper here instead, and if I get out a day early I can avoid this. And there it is, the saving grace. Chili mac at the bottom of the bag. I kept this as an extra meal for lunch on the last day. I didn't actually need it, I only planned for breakfast on the last day. So regardless of what I do tomorrow, I'm eating this tonight. You know, yesterday when I was on that long portage into Lake Louisa, and when I got there and the wind was up and I had a hard time finding a site, I think the 4th or 5th site was available, and it took a long time. And you know, I just kept saying, you know, just grit my teeth and get through it and I'll be fine. You know, dogged determination, that's what's gotten me through a lot of these trips. It's just willpower. And you know, and that sounds like a nice, viable way to meet a challenge, and that is just hunker down and get it done. But you know, unfortunately, I've been getting through too much of life by just gritting my teeth and getting through it. You know, waiting for the end of it. And I need to make a change. I need to stop doing that, and I don't really know how. I think I came out here to maybe think about that and think about maybe what that change is. Whether I'm ready or not, I need to do it. You know, Algonquin Park is a great place to come to be by yourself. To do it solo. To do it your own way, without working with anybody. You know, sometimes that means, you know, no one's helping you. Sometimes it means no one's telling you you're doing it wrong. You know? But that's here. Here is a great place to be solo. Out there, at work with family, that's not the place to be solo. I'm not real sure where I was going with that, but I feel like it's an important realization that, you know, I mean, I have a family, a large family that, that loves me, and I got a great job. So of course I'm not doing it solo, but maybe up here I've been just kind of getting through life solo, and somehow I need to get out of that habit. Maybe that's part of the gritting my teeth and getting through it, is to reach out to people a little more, say what's on my mind a little more. I don't know. If this trip was going to meet any challenges, those challenges were here. And I think I'm ready. Because I can do this. I got this. And can I get it out there? These are nice and dry now. These are great. I can wear these again tonight. Whew. So I figured, what the hell? I went over there to that waterfall, put my hand in the water. It's surprisingly warm. So off comes the shirt, rinse the hair, rinse the arms, rinse the chest a little bit there, bit. And when I get back, well, I've got my clothes dried out again, so I can put them on. And I've got a wool sweater there. I'm not going to be using, so I'll dry off of that. And I'm feeling good. Well, I am nice and warm. I am in my long johns again, and because they were dry, I was able to shake off most of the mud and dirt, so they're just a little dusty and smelly. And I thought, what better way to wait out the rain than to lay in my hammock and look at the Algonquin Fisheries Assessment Survey. Or whatever they call it. Algonquin Park Angling Survey 2016. This should be pretty easy. Did you do any fishing? Yes. Did you catch anything? No. There you go. Alright, so let's take a look at the kayak here. I've done a few modifications to it. The most drastic one, you've heard me complain about this hatch here. Underneath this hatch is a bowl about 3 inches deep. It's not really deep enough to put much in it. And on top of that, these bungees didn't hold this lid down very well. It wasn't waterproof. It was just in my opinion, just a useless hatch. And on top of that, because it was 3 or 4 inches deep, then underneath you couldn't put anything underneath there because it occupied that space too. So what I did was I took a knife and I cut this out, and then I got some clear roofing patch silicone and glued it all in place. So it looks like it's wet right now. It's just shiny, right? It's waterproof, and it's glued on there real good. So now these bungees are actually useful. And there's the view from underneath, and you can see that I now have all the usable space under here. Moving back here, I've made a spot to clamp on my yoke. There it is, and I'm just winging that again on, nothing special. Next up is I've put 3 drain holes right here into the storage well so that it doesn't collect water. My last trip, this collected a couple inches of water, which is fine, except my pack was laying in it, and then I put it on. You know, the straps and stuff are wet, and so I thought, well, I'll just drain it, because then the underneath is all open and that water will end up in here, and I can deal with it with my sponge. And lastly, I put some straps here onto these rod holders. This one here is for my camera stick, and then I did another one here for my fishing rod. It's a different size, so my fishing rod goes on that side if I'm trolling, which I have yet to do. Now, in case I forget to go over this tomorrow, I'm going to just outline how I've got all my stuff laid out here. My hammock and underquilt go in a fairly narrow dry bag, fairly heavy duty one as well. Now, I didn't get the tapering style of dry bag that are made just for kayaks. They're very, very expensive. They start at about $60–70. So I have one that goes right about here. And then the portage yoke, I lay sort of next to it here. It comes back to about where the footrest is. My kitchen kit goes on this side here, and then my food bag goes right here. Maybe it's here. And so my food bag, of course, has my snack pack and drink pack right in the top, so that's very handy. And then what's not in my pack, or sorry, what is in my pack just goes there, and it all balances out quite well. I'll try to show that tomorrow. So that's the kayak mods. Now this next mod, I can't really show you because of what happened with the hammock earlier. If you recall, I said I happen to have an extra strap with my life jacket. One of the trouble I had on my previous trip was that my life jacket kept riding up like this. I was constantly pulling it down and trying to get situated all the time. What was happening is the back of the seat would lift the life jacket. When I sit down and if I move around too much, it would just work its way up. So what I did is I got this new life jacket with instead of a zipper, it's got these buckles. So instead of a zipper, it's got these buckles, right? And the straps go all the way around the back. So what that allowed me to do was rig up basically a crotch strap like you have in a child's life vest. So I attach it to the back, and I run all the way up to here, and I can pick which one I want to connect it to. And you know, it's not too uncomfortable at all. But the thing is, when I sit down in the kayak, I sit on that strap, and it keeps the life vest down. I haven't had that trouble, but if I forget, when I pack up my hammock tomorrow, if I forget to put that strap on here, you might notice the life jacket, even my new one, comes up just a little bit, but it doesn't touch anything, so I don't feel like I'm being strangled by it. So that's the life jacket mod. Fire! 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 Whew, it is raining. I was enjoying a nice fire, and then all of a sudden, wham, she just opened up. So I hightailed it to the hammock, took off my outer layer, which is hanging up over there, leaving me in my still dry Long Johns. I think I'm gonna settle in for the night.